Ah, curse the lack of convenience of modern internet. Well, I mean, I suppose the solution I do have is modern. It just really doesn't feel like it sometimes. What can I say? Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Good to see ya. Hopefully we're doing fantastically well. I'm Mel. I'm a bit sleepy. Arguably it is more modern. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is modern. It's like back in the day. Actually, what am I saying? Back in the day, it's like 4G but better. But still, I'll take it. But yes, hello TV. Hopefully you're having a good week. Yeah, internet's definitely a lot better now. You're slightly equating modern and better. I mean, that's supposedly true. That's somewhat true, yes. But you generally do expect things to get better as time goes by. I mean, like, my entire life, technology's just improved and improved and improved. Not like that's only been the state of things for a couple hundred years or so. Anyway, my week is not Gucci. Your week is not Gucci. That's a problem. Why is week not Gucci? Sorry, I'm slightly choking. Right, I'll not add me choking to death on stream to your bad week. But no, that is not good. Hopefully it gets better. I just get to complain about being tired for the most part. Low-key stressful day. Low-key stressful. But manageable. It'll probably get worse before it gets better. It does tend to be the way of it, doesn't it? Well, hopefully it getting worse is not too unbearably worse, TV. Do hope so. But yes. Hopefully all is okay. But I want to write today. I've been planning a little bit of writing this week. And I want to write a couple of thousand words. Just a couple of thousand words of a new little writing project. It's got limited scope, although knowing me, it'll probably end up extending its scope. What can I say? Write a spicy love story between a rock and a flower. Oh, I'm way ahead of you. That was actually part of my outline for the gacha game way back when. Actually, I say way back when, it was like a year and a half ago. That was unironically going to be one of those stories. Well, part of one of the stories. Or at least there was potential for it. But no, it will not be a spicy love story between a rock and a flower. No! I got back onto the writing prompt site. I say writing prompt site. It's like the here are a bunch of... Thanks for making my week worse. What, for pointing out that the gacha game was a thing and it's still to come? Yeah. Well, I don't know. It may still come. There have been some discussions in the background, which may lead to me getting back on the horse again. No, for ignoring my request. Oh yeah, no, I will make this. I will ignore your request. I will ignore it. I have a plan. You see, the problem is I came to this stream already knowing broadly what it is I want to work on. That's a you issue. It's the you issue, TV. Ah, dear. But yes, anyway, I was on the writing stream, the site that like lists publications that are looking for submissions, and I found one that I actually feel like I want to write something about, and that's what I'm going to be writing today, or at least part of it. The thing is, I've got a concept. I don't even have an outline yet. Really, I'm throwing together plot elements, which is, you know, very helpful indeed. We'll maybe see if we can throw something together while we're here. But I like the idea of it. At the very least, I like the idea of the concept. And then I've got to kind of string it all together. That's going to be a trick. I think. Yes. Well, anyway, shall we do a little little brainstorming? We'll call it like 20 minutes worth of brainstorming. We'll see if my brain is actually up for storming. I feel slightly overcooked today, actually. I'm so glad tomorrow's the weekend. I'm gonna get home and have a shower. Not shower. Bath. Yes. Yes. Friday night bath. That sounds fantastic. Maybe take out food in a bath. But yes, I know what I want to call it. I'm going to call it highly irregular. And the concept anyway, like the publication itself is for a magazine, and they specifically want segments about specific holidays, and wants the holidays to be roughly like 5+ months in advance. So the two that are very much up for grabs are going to be Halloween and Christmas. And I've not worked anything out for a Christmas story, but I have worked something out for a Halloween story. Well, something. Somewhat anyway. It's more of a harvest festival kind of thing than Halloween itself. But there's probably ways for me to incorporate aspects of Halloween. I think. It could be very easily done. But it depends on how well it's to be done. But yes. The concept anyway for Halloween, I thought Harvest Festival, and then I started doing my thing. Where I'm just like, right, let's dig into this. Let's dig into Harvest Festival. What interesting kind of Harvest Festival scenario could we come up with? And the thing that I kind of settled on, and the thing that seems to be speaking to me very much, is rather than being like contemporary or sci-fi or whatever, because it's a speculative fiction journal, is having the story set on a planet or planetoid on a highly elliptical orbit around a star, and they're getting to the end of the period of the highly elliptical orbit where it has passed to its closest point to the star. So it's kind of like a harvest festival celebrating the amount of electricity or sunlight rather that's been harvested, kind of thing. It's the idea anyway. Although that's more setting and to justify sci-fi. But I also want to do a little bit more tying in of specifically like Halloween-y stuff. So not, you know, not too overtly and not like meaninglessly Halloween-y stuff. And I also want to try a kind of a writing style of a writer that I really admire. They're kind of, I don't know, to be fair, I try and channel that kind of humor myself generally. So we'll see how we get on with it anyway. Kind of like very dry humor. But then again, what can I say? I kind of trend towards that kind of humor anyway. So yeah. That's the setting anyway, or rather, yeah, I suppose it's the setting. Setting is the word for it. Highly irregular. Highly irregular, like highly elliptical. The orbit itself is not going to be irregular. The orbit will be relatively regular. The irregular part will be what is happening. So the audience is like young adults for the writing journal thingamabobber. So that's kind of what we're aiming for. Oh my god, my brain is frazzled today, isn't it? I'm slightly struggling a little bit. We'll see how we get on anyway. So yeah, I'm thinking, because it's a highly elliptical orbit, the opportunity to have such effective solar collection doesn't come around very often. I'm personally picturing this orbit of being somewhere in the region of like 16 years kind of thing. And the story's going to point of view for some relatively young characters who either they've only seen like one of these festivals before, or they were so young that they can't really remember said festival before. Is kind of the vibe I'm going for. I'll probably make it Yuri just because of course I will. It's me! What do you expect? And we'll see. Ah, my brain though. No, Mel, push through it. Push through it, do some writing. If you don't, you won't make any progress on it, and you really want to do it, don't you? Yeah, I want to do it. Yeah, you want to do it. So do some writing, goddammit, Mel. Right. Quick acts. We don't need to expand on them too much. Exposition, setting and problem on highly elliptical orbit planetoid. Ending last solar energy, well, stellar. Last stellar energy. Well, ending stellar energy harvesting peak. Harvest festival. Problem. Someone's been siphoning off too much energy. Shock horror. Or rather, been siphoning off energy from what's being collected. But why? There's a mini mystery going on here. And also, because we're talking planetoid, we're talking no atmosphere, no magnetosphere. Low gravity. To be fair, it's probably a planet. Planet of some kind. Just a ridiculous elliptical orbit. We'll figure out the orbital dynamic logic itself another time. My brain is not quite there for it yet. I've not got my hands on an elliptical orbit calculator or check the maths for a while. I remember Kepler's... Wait, is it Kepler's law? I think it's Kepler's laws. I think it's Kepler's law. The 3 laws of orbital motion, orbital mechanics. It's fun. But yeah, someone's siphoning off energy anyway. So, rising action. Investigating the loss and navigating daily life on the planetoid base. Climax. Discovery of the source of the loss. Trying to get to the bottom of it. And then the catastrophe is the final confrontation. The thing is, I want it to be a comedy. I do want it to be a bit of a comedy. Like, kind of coming of age. Kind of-ish, but not really. Kind of coming of age. Oh. I did not mean to put that in there. I'm going to put that there. So this is going to be the act. One sheet. This is fine. We've got 3 characters. Loki Yuri. I want Loki Yuri as well. Let's see. Primary protagonist. Too young to remember last Stellar Harvest Festival. That will have to be an engineer herself. Secondary protagonist. It'll all be from their point of view, basically. Although probably have omniscient third person. Or maybe first person. I don't know. We'll see. We've got 2 protagonists who are basically a double act, although primary protagonist is like the straight man in the comedy, and the secondary protagonist is the kind of dumb one who drives the comedy and plot. Year older girlfriend of primary protagonist. Has been working as an engineer for longer. More familiar with quirks and intricacies of the PV array, which we'll probably end up using. That's not bad. PV array and the station's power demands. Probably have a number of faceless extras, but these 2 will be the primary characters. Probably I could theoretically merge 2 ideas in my mind. Like, okay, we could totally have the, like, well, I'm thinking of 2 things, 2 characters. We could have the mother being the head of engineering, and then there's also the head of the station itself. Theoretically, I could make the mother and the head of the station the same person. There's no reason why that couldn't be the case. Simplify things quite significantly, and could potentially add to the comedy later. It could be, but then it leads to some other story issues as well. Oh, we've got mystery. Well, it's like a low-key mystery. It's like super low stakes. Well, not super low stakes, but just like amusingly low stakes. Maybe some black humor. I don't know. Maybe. It could be fun. But in what way? There's a couple of thoughts as to what the siphoned energy could be used for. I think the style of writing that I want to go for is the kind where, like, I don't know, almost kind of space opera-y, where, like, the stakes are absolutely ginormous. It comes down to, well, I mean, somewhat ginormous. The stakes are high anyway, and it kind of comes down to, like, family dynamics, but, or not just even family dynamics, like, kind of the dynamics of the interrelationships between a small number of people kind of thing ends up being the thing that leads to the solution. But like dark comedy as well, where okay, the stakes are significant, but it's over some kind of like petty small reason behind it all, and it's like it's funny because you're just like, why is this horrifying thing being allowed to happen as a result of like someone's incompetence or someone's selfishness or something like that? And that's kind of a vibe I want to go for. Somewhat. Regardless. But yeah, what is the siphoned energy being used for? That is really the question here. What do we go for? Do we say that the siphon energy is being used for? Well, actually, tell a lie. Hold on. I've got my notebook here. I did make some notes. Oh, I just opened to a random page in here and I'm getting myself distracted. I know I am. Let's not get distracted. Although that will be worth looking at again later. That was a thing. So, right, okay, I found it. What's going on here? Being used to produce dangerous chemicals, substance, crops. Potentially. I'm kind of liking this. Problem is, like, because it's a young adult audience, drugs not per se the best subject to go for. It doesn't have to be drugs, it just has to be dramatic. What is the planetoid supposed to be being used for? Asteroid mining site. Secret outposts. Who knows? Any of these things can matter, really. Why would such things have an appeal? I'm not sure. And because it's a relatively short story as well, like 4,500 words probably top, it needs to be quite concise. I know the style of writing I want to go for. What we doing? What we doing? What we doing? What we doing, Mel? What? How do I do this? What am I thinking? I kind of want our secondary protagonist to be dropped into it. Shall we just throw some names in? Primary protagonist can be Bailey. Secondary protagonist can be Maggie. Their names I've used for other characters before. And I'm more or less XPing them. Not exactly, but somewhat. AU! AU! Well, I suppose I'm somewhat making AU for these characters, yeah. If anything, it's more like having OCs. Considering, wait, actually, hold on. What year did I come up with those girls? I was writing about them in not 16, 17, 18? I think I was writing about them in 2018. AUOC. Well, I mean, AU is alternate universe. I mean, I suppose I'm doing AUOC. I'm doing an AU for my OCs. Dear me. I suppose you can put it like that. I suppose. But yeah, Bailey and Maggie. I like Bailey and Maggie. Yeah, I was writing about them in 2018, for goodness sake. I mean, that's the earliest I remember writing for them. Bloody 7 years ago. How times have changed. And yet how things stay the same. Dear me. Right, so... Maggie already aware of secret purpose of... siphoning, but not of that it results from the siphoning. Which makes me want to think drug, but no. Low-key drug? I'm inclined to say mushrooms. Can I say mushrooms? I mean, mushrooms are kind of... they're kind of like an autumnal thing, aren't they? Somewhat? Or maybe it's some kind of gourd. Could be some kind of gourd. Mushrooms, gourds, maybe both. Gourd-shaped mushrooms. Sure, let's go for gourd-shaped mushrooms. Why not? Maggie's aware of siphoning. Is guilty of it herself. But not in the industrial levels that Bailey is calculating. Yes. Will there be badgers? No. No. The worms that the badgers would be eating are being occupied, unfortunately. They are being used for looking after soil. Badger, 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 mushroom, mushroom. Yeah, would you believe that I heard people singing that song when I was younger? I had no idea what they were talking about. Literally no idea what they were talking about. And it was only relatively recently that I actually got around to watching the damn video. They literally gave me no context. I would say, what are you doing? And they would just start singing badger, 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 mushroom. And I was like, what? I was maybe showing it once, but it did not stick in my mind. And I was like, wait a minute, this was a thing? Yeah, it was a whole thing. Well, what are we thinking? I like this. This is good. An OG engineer. Oh yeah, no, I know what it is now. Trust me, I've corrected my lack of knowledge. But yeah, Maggie would also be aware of the siphoning. She'd be guilty of it herself, but normally in small petty amounts rather than industrial levels. Story ends in... What was the word? Station head. / mother. Exiting the station in a... for the first time. Seeing the seeing the sunrise set, chilling out a bit. Probably. Feel good optimistic ending with silly resolution too. Sounds nice. Sounds fun. Although I wonder how much progress am I going to be able to make. I think I'm only going to be able to go for another hour or so. I'm flagging. I'm flagging. Still, we're planning at the very least. Much as I've done in previous runs before. Could just start writing. I could always just start writing. Like, we've got enough to start with for now. Maybe write some scenes. Let's write some sci-fi babble, shall we? The planetoid their station had been built on. Hmm. Was a stranger choice from many on. Are there any Bailey you could think of? Hmm. Meanwhile, at the furthest part of its orbit, Hmm. Filming New Earth and Venus from recorded lessons they've been set with. As those of her mother and those who'd come with her. And come from there with her. Useful. And in a case, the station is desperately charged its photovoltaic batteries. Hmm. Capacitors. A closer star to be used. Hmm. To be watching dim screens under low red lighting. That'll probably get work done a little. still. Also, I've just noticed that this has actually been... what's the word? Been removing my tappy noises. I've just been sitting here in silence when I could have had tappy noises on. Do you want tappy noises? I could put on tappy noises. Tappy noises are fun. Right. Where is it? Do we have tappies? Oh wait, no, sorry, I'm looking in the wrong place. It's in OBS now. Yes, you are. Disable. Is it noise suppression? I don't think it's noise suppression. I mean, it could be noise suppression. Maybe. Although maybe I should keep it on. I think I'll keep it on. You don't need to hear every single clacky. A setting for just clacky would be good though. We'll duplicate it, compressor clacky. There we go. We got compressor and compressor clacky. Yay. So now we need to figure out how we want to do this. Maybe lower use like 40 or something? Negative 40? No, too aggressive. The problem, put that to 40 again. Reduce the ratio. See how we do. I mean, you can hear clacky somewhat, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. Also, what the hell is going on with my audio? Seriously, I'm too quiet. Right, just keep it like this. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. I clearly just very bad audio. We'll deal with it another time. Right, no clacky. Sorry. This is what we get for using Discord. Not Discord. Discord for using OBS. OBS! That's what I was looking for. Right, we've got a scene written here. Oh, I say scene, a little bit of exposition. How much is that even? 222 words. You know what? We'll take it. We'll take it. That's like 5% of the story right there has been written already. 5%! That's not bad. 5%. Only 20 more hours and you'll be finished. Well, Excuse me, TV. I actually wrote this in less than 10 minutes. I wrote that in less than 10 minutes. The summary, well, not the summary, the vague outline took an hour. So theoretically, I'll be done in 2 hours, you son of a gun. Try that. If I kept that up, I'd be done in 2 hours. Trick is, though, you know, knowing what you want to write. That is the trick. So. We have some interaction between our two characters, Bailey and Maggie. I can do that. So, yeah, we'll see what we can do for a little bit. A couple little scenes and then we can find a way to stitch them together later. So, Bailey and Maggie. Bailey perched on the edge of the platform. I don't know what platform, but let's not overthink it, shall we? Perched on the edge of the platform. Eyes raking back and forth along the insulated transmission cables. Make it voice came from behind her. It's crackled. Crackle slightly over the short range transmission. Hmm. Am I even writing this right? I don't know if I'm writing this right. It's fine. We're just writing anyway. It's come later. We need to make it exist, and then we can make it be good. That's how you do it. That's how you write. That's how you make a thing. Fail faster. Suck first. Get good later. Hello, Goliath. Hello, Goliath. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see ya. We are doing some writing today. Obsidian, let's share templates. I have no template. I have nothing. I've done no modular stuff with Obsidian at all. It's shameful. I use it basically vanilla. What plugins do I even use for it? We're distracting me. We're distracting me is what we're doing. Yeah, here's templates. What templates do I have? No template folder configured. Yeah, you see? You see? No template. No templates. No template folder configured. Nah, I need to make some time. Actually set out this the way that we should do. I do look up Oblivion though. It is good. Not even templates or data view installed. Whoa, I know. I don't even know what those things are. I mean, I can somewhat guess, but I don't even know what those things are. I'd like to know though. Would like some deets, but not today. I'm trying to be productive today. Trying is the operative part. Yes, trying is the operative part. But yes, we're doing some writing today. We are writing a little short story. And by short, I mean rather short, like 3,000 to 4,500 words ideally, maybe a little longer. We'll see. We got a loose outline and we're just doing a couple of scenes. So far. We're just having some fun. I am... How far am I through actually? Assuming that I don't edit these, and I probably will. We are... Yeah, that's another 20% right there, actually. Ish. Wait, 5%. Ah, yeah, we're nearly at 10% of the way through, actually. Somewhat. See how it goes. Is antimony a metal? I'm still looking for a good timeline plugin. Ooh, that sounds very useful actually. It is antimony, which is a metalloid. Lovely. It's antimony. And I'm saying I love that I can easily link to character sheets or to foreshadowing. That's cool. On their tongue? That's so toxic. Well, that's exactly it. Well, somewhat appropriate. Let's see. We're back into toxic Yuri territory then. When is it healthy, wholesome Yuri time? Okay, we're only somewhat toxic Yuri. Only slightly. But the Yuri itself is not bad, but there is some toxicity. Slight amount. Arsenic is also super toxic and a metalloid. Plus, it's the poster child of extremely toxic metals. I don't know. Antimony just came to mind a little bit. I don't know why antimony. Just fun. Apparently it has medical applications, which is interesting. Also, I said actually twice too close together. But yes, I do hear arsenic is not one of the good ones. Don't know how it compares to lead, actually. Lead is a great way to get yourself sick forever. More or less. I can't believe you've done your editing before you've done. Well, I gotta make some minor changes. Yeah, no, I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. Oxygen is also a metal, astronomically speaking at least. You're actually correct. The chemist in me revolts, but at the end of the day I am an astrophysicist. Everything is a metal. Basically everything is a metal. Dear. Dear. Astronomy has it great. We really do. Well, at least when you're talking about stars. Well, stars and dust. Okay, most stuff in space, to be honest. Yeah, it's metal. Let's do... We're currently harvesting 12% less energy than we should be. we go. There's only two elements, hydrogen and helium. The rest are mental illnesses. I love it. I love it. I approve. I approve. My favorite anti-transphobe joke. Transphobe joke? Wait, okay, I caught up. My brain's asleep. Yeah, had to make the jump there. Dear. Dear me. Yeah, took a second. I just have too positive opinion of astronomers in general. Dear. Let's see. Can we move this down actually? I think we may be able to. Is it a black dwarf that's black dwarf star? Is that not the carbon remnant? No, the time required for a white dwarf to reach this state is calculated to be longer than the current age of the universe. So none are expected to exist in the universe at the present. That's a shame. That's a shame. We've got some around 3.6 thousand degrees Celsius. 3900 Kelvin. Proton decay will raise the effective surface temperature of an old 1 solar mass white dwarf to approximately 0.06 Kelvin. Hotter than the cosmic microwave background radiation temperature 10 to the 37 years in the future. Well, that's useful. Damn it, I'm getting distracted, aren't I? Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I'm getting distracted by astronomy, god damn it. No, black dwarf. Black dwarf, even older. The white dwarf that's, yeah, the white dwarf that's radiated all of its heat. Do I make the joke? Yeah. Because black dwarves are made of carbon. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they're mostly carbon, right? No, I don't want to search here for carbon. I want to search in Wikipedia. Carbon. No carbon. No carbon. But I'm pretty sure it stops at carbon. Roughly CNO. White dwarf is made of carbon. An inert mass of carbon and oxygen will build at its center. White dwarves are composed of carbon and oxygen. CEO white dwarf. If the mass of the progenitor is between 7 and 9 solar masses, the core temperature will be sufficient to fuse carbon but not neon, in which case an oxygen neon magnesium white dwarf may form. Ooh. Stars of very low mass will be unable to forward fuse helium, hence a helium white dwarf may form. Dear me. Oh, type 1A supernova! Carbon detonation! We love it. We love it. Okay, I've been distracted by supernovae. Stops iron. So nuclear fusion stops iron for... yeah, if it gets as far as stopping for iron, then we'll go supernova. Either supernova into a neutron star, or it supernovas into a black hole depending on mass. Yes. But yeah, nuclear fusion, but regular nuclear fusion stops iron. You can still fuse above iron, but it takes more energy than you get out. So it doesn't work as fuel anymore. It happens during supernova. But yes, it does stop at iron nickel. Yes, yes, yes. I think it's worth making a joke about it. I can roll for making a joke about it. Any black stars nearby, do you think? Something. Diamond the size of a planet. There we go. An engagement ring with a diamond the size of a planet. What did we get her to say though? I had a thought, but then I got distracted by supernovae. I was distracted by supernovae. It does happen from time to time. Supernovae are cool. Oh, excuse me, I'm sleepy. Excuse me, I'm very sleepy today. I was distracted by supernovae and brain non-functional. Non-optimal. It's functional, but not optimal. A diamond? Carbon press as tightly as it can? We need a degenerate matter duct. Oh, so yes, here's the story. White dwarf, right? We got a story. Also, Wendy, thank you for posture check. I'm currently sitting cross-legged and shrimp mode. The only degenerate that matters is Mel. Okay, first of all, thank you for saying I matter. I needed that today. Second of all, thank you, Wendy, for the hydrate. Also good to see you, Wendy. Wendy is also a degenerate. That also matters. And... oh, wait. Did I just admit that I was a Degenerate. Oh, damn it. Well, I suppose that's it. I can't really say much at this point. Great. Fantastic. I've been outed. Caught in 4K. No, I'm not. I'm caught in 1080p, actually. I'm caught in 1080p. I can't upload in 4K yet. Not yet, anyway. Maybe when I get my new internet. And if I get, you know, a better graphics card. I need to upgrade my PC really badly. This thing's 4 years old now. Actually, I bought this 4 years ago. We saw the Yuri Shrine. I mean, I've got like a bunch of like, okay, not exclusively Yuri related things, but like I've got a lot of like standees of Yuri adjacent girls on my mantelpiece behind me. Does Twitch even support 4K upload? Right, okay, so Twitch would support 4K upload. The problem is the bitrate would still be 6,000. Twitch does not support a video bitrate, I think it's a bitrate overall, higher than 6,000 kilobit per second. So, yeah. It would be great. Yeah, it's probably worth sticking to 1080p, to be honest. 8,000 for partners? Yeah, that sounds about right. Unfortunately, not something I have access to. But if you're watching and you're not already following, do drop a follow and I can get partnered. And then I can get 4K. Oh dear. Or for the NVIDIA beta. Oh, NVIDIA beta, that's fun. Where you locally encode your stream at multiple resolutions in AV1. Interesting. I mean, that's a very interesting way of... I mean, it's basically like, is that not just basically downscaling? Or is it like not being directly downscaled? In which case, it's more like MIP maps, but for video. Wait, there's something going wrong that nobody's noticed. Or, I don't know. I think it's coding them simultaneously. Okay, so basically MIP maps. Interesting. Just making it easier to... Well, it means... Probably just means like having like slightly higher quality streams at different resolutions. I mean, like if you've got the extra processing power in the graphics card, I guess you kind of may as well. But then it's weird because if you're rendering it multiple times, the base resolution is still going to be out. I don't know. Sounds like it might make sense. Maybe. Probably. Should improve quality at every quality setting. Yeah. A little bit less fuzziness, probably. I mean, it makes sense. It does make sense, I suppose. Maybe. Anyway. Let's see. And for general processor, downscaling would be far more economical. This is fixed function. Why not use it if you have it anyway? I suppose. Does save downscaling efforts. This is true. NVENC can take at least 50 megabit per second from testing on my own hardware. Wow, that's pretty good. Definitely overkill for Twitch though. I don't think Twitch would accept that much upload. Well, OBS wouldn't anyway. Yeah, it was for local streaming on my 2 PC setup. Unfortunately, Windows just broke my GPU drivers, so I can't stream. Ah, Windows. We can't live with you. We wish we would live without you. Well, this might be the year, actually. I have been considering a full move over to Linux. God knows how that would go. I'm sure we'd find out. But yes, I think I would like that. I'll see if it's feasible this year. We'll see what we can do. This is the year 2025. It's true. I had to turn off hardware acceleration in the browser. Wish I could. I depend on plugins that are Windows only. I mean, I could probably live without it. I mean, I think there's enough workarounds for it, and I'm not that married to DirectX 11. I couldn't live without it. I'd probably be fine. I'd probably be fine. Maybe. I will die if I don't have the downstream keyer. The power is totally getting siphoned. What did pulsars turn into? Okay, so pulsars, they are basically neutron stars. Pulsars are neutron stars, is what they are. The thing about neutron stars is you think that a black dwarf star would take a very long time to form. A black neutron star would basically take forever to form. There's just a lot of energy, there's a lot of heat, and there's a lot of rotational energy as well. Probably more likely a pulsar would just turn into like a much more standard neutron star, given enough time. And then the neutron star would eventually either like merge with another neutron star and probably go into like a binary star black hole supernova, or it would just like continue doing its thing. But yeah, pulsars are just neutron stars, end of the day. They are neutron stars with very, very strong activity and are just spewing out tons and tons of charged particles along their magnetic field. They create jets, and we see those pulses of the jets as they spin. They're fun. They're fun. They're small and cute. So yeah, that's what they turn into. Pretty much every plugin that isn't Excelderos isn't available on Linux, I thought. Interesting. Fair enough. So if they lose energy, they'll lose internal pressure too, right? Will they eventually collapse into something else, or are we dealing with the exclusion principle? So, you're somewhat right in a sense, in that the rotational energy of a neutron star does add a little bit of like outwards force that counteracts gravity, but like it's relatively small just because of how massive these things are. Like, imagine the mass of the sun, or maybe like 2.5 times the mass of the sun, compressed into a size with a radius of like your average city. They're really freaking dense. And like the sun itself rotates like once every like 30 days, roughly, which is an interesting little quinky dink. But that's relative to the background stars, by the way. But like, the thing is, it's like, you know, if you've ever been on like a roundabout, like at a swing park and what have you, and like you're like hanging off the edge, arm's length, and you're swinging around, you're going at a certain speed, and if you pull yourself in closer, suddenly you start rotating that much faster. Yeah, same thing happens when there's a supernova. Actually, you suddenly go from all the rotational energy of your average star, rotating like as massive as they are, rotating once every 30 days is pretty damn fast. And then if you compress that down to, or even part of that energy down to the size of a city, you got something going really, really fast. Like, you get like microsecond pulsars and the like for that. And because they've got so much mass, they've got a lot of momentum, which means it takes forever for them to bleed off that energy. It takes forever for it. Will they not collapse further once they've radiated off energy, or degenerate even further? Theoretically, you could get a neutron star that is just on the edge of the mass limit. The only thing stopping it from going supernova is its rotational energy. But the odds of that happening would be vanishingly small. More likely than not, it would just immediately go supernova straight to a black hole. More likely than not. But like, if you had a pulsar or neutron star just like start to cool down, I don't think it would necessarily go supernova immediately. Like, it'd have to be like right on the energy limit, and that's like, the odds of that happening are so tiny. And like, normally a star that goes supernova is like a binary star. Like, well, a star that goes supernova like that, it just like eats the outer layers of a companion star so that it can go supernova, and then go supernova again. So it would very quickly put itself over the mass limit and just immediately go to a black hole. So they would just stay degenerate, basically. A neutron star is basically an atomic nucleus. It's like, there's like a little layer of protons on the surface, maybe some neutrons as well, like a surface of like helium and what have you, maybe some carbon and what have you going on as well. But then under that, it's all just one big atomic nucleus of neutrons. So the surface is sour. Possibly? Possibly. I mean, like, it's more like to be spicy because it's going to be, you know, several million Kelvin in temperature. That's not going to end very well for you. So we're past electron degeneracy. Oh yeah, no. So what holds a white dwarf up is called electron degeneracy pressure. The reason it can't compress any further is because of, like you mentioned, the Pauli exclusion principle. This says that integer spin particles can't exist in the same place as each other. It's okay for light to do it in overlap because they're spin 1. But when it comes to electrons, those are spin 1/2, so they can be plus 1/2 or minus 1/2. They can buddy up into pairs. But with electron degeneracy pressure, as you say, it forces all of the electrons so close together that the only thing holding them up is like the fact that they have to observe the Pauli exclusion principle as well as the energy levels of the atoms that they are part of. That's electron degeneracy pressure. And that's what holds up a white dwarf, and it's also what holds up the core of a star, more or less. The core of a regular star. Funnily enough, it's the similar principle that actually leads to you know, not phasing through your floor. Electrons are just in the way of each other. It's mostly the reason why we have friction or, you know, solid objects. But yeah, if we're talking about a neutron star, what's holding them up is neutron degeneracy pressure. So that's the fact that, like, you can't have nucleons too close together. Like, you've got you can't have protons and neutrons being closer than a certain distance from each other, just because of how the nucleus of an atom is organized. And they can only get so small and so compact up to a certain point. Then there's a black hole. The thing is, there's like lots of different ways. Yeah, as tightly packed as matter can, unless we degenerate quarks. Yeah, it's been theorized that it can exist, but quarks get really weird under pressure. We don't really know for sure what goes on inside neutron stars per se. We've got a good idea, but we don't know for sure. Physics starts getting really weird under very high extremes like temperature and pressure. But yeah, when it comes to a black hole, it's not so much that neutron degeneracy pressure is overcome. It's more that the event horizon of the object itself becomes bigger than the radius of the object. Like, every single object has an event horizon. Like, I have an event horizon, the Earth has an event horizon, the Sun has an event horizon. It's just that it would only become a black hole if you could get all the mass of the object within that tiny radius. So like for like a person, it would be absolutely tiny. It would be like, would it even be the size of an atom? It'd probably be somewhere around the region of the size of an atom. It's a vanishingly small size. But if you could cram all the mass of a human into a very, very tiny space, you would create a black hole. There would just be a density beyond which the event horizon of that body would just overtake. And then it just exists as a black hole. Nothing else can come out of it anymore. There's like a point of no return when it comes to density. Of course, there are multiple models on how black holes actually work and how they form. This is just one of the ways of interpreting it, basically. So yeah, it's very different from neutron degeneracy pressure. Typically, neutron degeneracy pressure isn't overcome per se, depending on how you want to look at it. But in any case, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And black holes are just pretty. Black holes are really pretty. We love black holes. I can't believe we've actually been able to see them. Well, somewhat. We've seen around them, and just because anything with higher pressure than neutron matter turns into a black hole, progressive degeneracy beyond that is basically just hypothetical. Basically, like, the reason why they say there's a singularity at the center of a black hole is because for all intents and purposes, that's the only way we can describe it. Like, it's like when you go back to your very basic physics equations kind of thing. Like when you're looking at a ball, for example, just on its own, you're not thinking about its rotation or its surface friction or what have you. The ball is basically just a dot that has this much mass and therefore it will move in this way, kind of thing. Black holes kind of work in a similar way. But yeah, actual understanding of what happens inside a black hole can be very, very weird. It's effectively a point source because it might as well be. There's only so much information you can get out of a black hole. It's called the no-hairs theorem. There's only so many pieces of information you can get out of a black hole. You can get its mass, its electric charge, which will tend towards zero. You can get its rotational speed. And that's basically it. There's only so much you can actually get out of a black hole. You don't learn very much about them. But yeah, density beyond a certain point. There's not really any sense in it. Somewhat. No hairs, is that related to the hairy ball theorem? Well, the black hole is a hairless ball. You heard it here, folks. The black hole is a hairless ball. And, oh, actually, somewhat related to that, the concept that any such singularity should have an event horizon about it, and this has been proven in various ways using lasers and other situations. Horizons always, whenever there's a singularity, there's always a horizon corresponding to it. It's called the theorem of universal censorship. There can be no such thing as a naked singularity. No such thing as a naked singularity. You can't see the singularity naked. It's been censored. Black holes are hairy balls. The hairy ball, in other words, has been censored. Dear. I've been distracted somewhat. I should feel very disappointed in this, but I'm not. We have got 580 words though, which is not the worst thing in the world. We've managed to write a little bit of banter. We've been able to write a little bit of exposition. Well, we've done a little bit of exposition on the setting. We've done a little bit of banter between our two main characters. And we've done establishing what the real concern is, what the mystery is, what's going on here. They're losing energy, or we're gathering less energy than we ought to. And it turns out Maggie's totally aware of the fact that power is getting siphoned, but to what extent? For what purposes? Anyway, I think we have started something very good. I'm feeling very good about myself and the amount of writing that has been done, so I'm very happy. We have only been going for 2 hours, but I am incredibly tired, so I think unfortunately I'm going to have to call the stream here. This has been very fun though, a little bit of writing, a little bit of progress. It's been a while since I've done something like this, so I like the chance to. I looked up and apparently they're not related. Hairy ball theorem gives you that you can't cleanly flatten the hairs in a ball in a continuous way. Oh, yeah. I know this one. I know this one. I know that theorem. That's a fun one. Rather, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. It's been a while though. But yes, we will call things here. Massive thank you everyone for coming along today. Whether you've been here from the start, you came along partway through, however long you've been chilling here. I am wanting to get into doing some more writing. This is just going to be a short thing. I want to do a little bit more work on this probably tomorrow in my own time, and then maybe on Sunday as well. And hopefully have it finished for the end of next week ideally, but I'm not going to kick myself too hard if I don't happen to manage to, because I'll just live. But it's nice. It's nice to have a little writing exercise to do, a little warm up. We are effectively like at least 1/7 of the way through. Yeah, about 1/7 of the way through. At best, we're a third. No, we're like a 5th of the way through. Somewhere between a 5th and a 7th, which is not too bad, all things considered. So, yeah, I'll see if I've got some more energy to do some writing tomorrow. I'll probably have a bath and then do some writing. That'd be lovely. And then we'll see what we get up to in the next couple of days. Next stream, we're going to be streaming on Saturday, and we're planning on playing Avowed, but because I've been having so much fun with Avowed. Avowed's fantastic. But I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm burning out on it, which is a shame because it's fantastic. I think I get bored if I'm playing a game for too long, somewhat. A little bit of a vibe we're having, but we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do. Next stream is going to be Saturday anyway. We will find and do something fun with that. But anyway, with that all having been said, thank you so much for coming along. I hope the rest of your weeks go fantastically well. I will look forward to seeing you on Saturday or whenever next you happen to come by. But until then, take care of yourselves. Be very good to yourselves. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye. And shall we drop a little raidy raid on someone? I think we can drop a little raidy raid. I'm glad I did this. I'm very glad I did this. Just a little bit of energy. Some writing. Also, apologies for the double messages at the start of the stream. Yeah, we're still gonna deal with crappy internet for a while yet. It's not the best. It's not the best. Shall we drop a raid on... Let's raid Dwagon. Dwagon's playing Factorio, which I did actually get as a Christmas/birthday present. I forget. I should check that out sometime. But yes, that's Sweet Dragon. Anyway, take it easy, folks. Be good to yourselves. Matane.